Okay, I am a Flutterflow user. If you've watched any videos on this channel, you're going to know that. I've just had this email from the Flutterflow team announcing their Dreamflow Buildathon for 2025. Now, I'm actually going to have a go at this. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to have a go at it. But I'm asking myself, is it time to ditch Flutterflow and get on the Dreamflow bandwagon, or are there other ways of doing it? Because let's face it, Flutterflow is kind of, I wouldn't say it's a forgotten product, but I love it. It's really, really good, but I don't believe it gets the attention it should because obviously I'm guessing the majority of the people that were using Flutterflow don't necessarily want to solve the problems, work through the issues and build their apps with the low-code approach of Flutterflow when they can just type in a few prompts and get the AI to do that for them. I don't necessarily think it's a good thing, but it is a thing, and is it time to basically jump on the bandwagon? So I'm going to have a go at this buildathon. I will post a few videos while I'm doing it. I have no clue what I'm going to do. Yeah, I've got till January the 5th to sort it out. So, Dreamflow. Now then, I am a free user because I don't pay for it. I've literally got the account I set up when I did my video a while back. I tried to build, when it first came out, I tried to build a Tetris game, which was not successful. It didn't work, but it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. But I ran out of credits before I get it finished. So I'm going to see if I can build something with the 10 credits. So it's been 6 months since I had to go at Neon Tetris. I haven't opened this at all since. So I'm guessing there have been some changes. But what have I learned about it? Well, so far I've learned that it's eye-wateringly expensive. Free, obviously, you can chat and generate one app, I'm guessing. And also in the hobby section, you can publish a single app. Now, can you download the code, delete it, and then... No, you can't, because it said the GitHub repository is only in the Pro package, which starts at $90 a month. Okay, so you get 100 credits for $20 a month. Is 100 credits a lot? I have literally no idea. I'm guessing if you're creating your app and then building it out with code, probably that's going to be enough. I don't know. But you can use the drop downs and select. For $50 a month, you get 260 credits. For 500 credits for $90 a month. Okay, most popular, $90 a month. I failed to believe that, but I'm going to guess free is probably the most popular, but there we go. And it goes up to $1,800 a month for 1,000 credits. For 10,000 credits, $800 a month. That is, I mean, it is. I pay for Flutterflow. I pay the annual subscription, whatever that is, $250-ish, I think, maybe. This is on another level cost-wise, and you've got to ask yourself, as a G Suite user, I get access to Gemini. Gemini 3 has recently come out, and if you're going to use AI to build stuff, which I do use AI, obviously, because I think everybody does these days to help me out, bounce ideas off, debugging, all the rest of it, why would I pay $90 a month for this when I get Gemini for considerably less from Google? That's a very interesting question. Anyway, so what I've learned about Dreamflow so far is you start off with a prompt and you tell it what you want and get it to build your app, or you can, if you're a pro user, you can actually clone a GitHub repository. So since I did the Tetris app, which was mildly successful, but it didn't get it finished, you can actually edit it in other ways rather than just with the Dreamflow AI agent. You maybe could have at the time, I just didn't know. So if I did miss that, I apologise. If you were watching that video back then, it was about a year ago. You can actually edit the code to make changes, or you can use the visual editor, the visual controls. I'm assuming it's not the same way that Flutterflow works, but I guess I'm going to find out. But I'm going to guess where you want to do like custom actions and things. Obviously, they're code anyway, so you just write them in the code, or anything you want to change is probably going to be in the code. So I'm going to try Dreamflow. The question I'm asking myself is, obviously, is it time to just give in to the inevitable, I suppose, and except that Flutterflow is not going to be fully supported forever. They're probably going to, I would think, weld it into Dreamflow somehow, because the space is moving so fast and most people just want to go by prompts and create what it is they want to create. So based on that, as I've said, I'm going to have a go at this Dreamflow Buildathon, and I need an idea for an app. Now, I had an app sitting in Flutterflow that I'd kind of started a third built and give up on because I've sort of run out of creativity. So what I've done, I have had a good old brainstorming session with Gemini. So I won't read you all this, but it was a pretty long session when we come up with a prompt, basically. And this is the prompt for the app. Now, it's kind of a creating moments from different platforms, I suppose, is kind of the idea, and it's going to be based on having a life clock and how much time you've spent and you've got left and that kind of thing. Probably loads of them already out there, but that's what I'm going to go with. Now, that is my initial prompt for Dreamflow that myself and Gemini came up with together. I already have the some of the elements I already have built in custom code in Flutterflow, so I'm going to copy and paste that into here. I know I've no idea if that prompt is too extensive, too long, not good enough, because I've used this once and I basically said build me a Tetris game pretty much, and so I've kind of got somewhere near, but it didn't really work. So it'll be interesting to see how that prompt sits. I'm going to do that in just a second, but I have got some custom code elements in my Flutterflow project of the kind of similar ilk, which I will import those if I can. I don't know if I can. I'm sure I can, because you can sort of mess around with the code, I believe. Now, I'm on the free plan of Dreamflow. If I've got to upgrade to one of the paid ones, i.e. the hobby one, for $20 to get this done, I will. I expect I'm going to have to. Oh, I've got one-click deployment for free, so okay. Right, anyway, we'll see. But if I have to upgrade, I will, because I might run out of prompts or whatever. So I'm going to put it in and see what happens. There may be a number of characters you can use. Okay, so we have got our prompt in there, I believe. The model defined section will be the schema for the SQL tables. That is the end of the prompt. Yeah, because I'm going to use SQLite. Right. Yeah. Here goes. What an amazing idea. Yeah, of course it is. Thanks for that. I actually don't know what model this uses. I'm assuming it's going to be either Gemini or ChatGPT. I'm going to guess it's ChatGPT, but I don't really know. So yeah, let's see what happens, see what I end up with. I'll stop this particular video when we get the first response, and I'm going to have a play with it, and I'm obviously going to do a few more videos to upload it. Now, whether I can get this completed and accepted into either Google Play or the App Store within the time allowed, which is some point in the early January, is a different kettle of fish, but I'm going to guess I'll find that out. So yeah, let's watch Buildflow do its thing. Dreamflow. Let's watch Dreamflow do its thing. Now, while this is thinking, this is the kind of thing I don't like about this, is that it's just creating all these files. I don't know, it does it in Flutterflow, and we don't really go and look into the code that much. We just expect it to work. But because we're actually creating the actions and everything ourselves, and we need to do this, and we're going to create this action and do that and whatever, you're understanding exactly what's going where and what it's doing. We may not necessarily go into the code that much to check out what it's doing within the code side, but certainly visually we're doing what everything's doing. And then with our back end, stuff like security, in Supabase, you're talking about RLS and you're talking about rate limiting and stuff like that. On the Python side, on some of the apps I've done, you're talking about rate limiting and making sure that the file that you upload in is actually the type of file that you're expecting, and it's not something malicious. All those kinds of things that you have to do and you take for granted because you're doing them all the time. I'm just assuming that this is doing all that stuff for me, and I'm going to have to go in and check that it has or not. And this is one of the things I don't like about it. It's this, apart from, vibe coding is the thing, but just literally creating something, click and go, and assuming that it's doing everything just because it works, it doesn't necessarily mean it's actually any good under the surface. Now, I'm not saying what I do particularly is perfect, because I'm sure it's not. And, you know, as always, I've said in every video that I've showed something, it's, you know, what I do is a way, not necessarily the way. It's just an explanation of how I would go about something, and what I've learned in my process of doing all this stuff. But this, you just assume this all done for you. You've then got to go in and check it. And because you're not necessarily doing all this logic yourself, those thought processes you have to say, right, okay, I'm doing this, I'm going to there, and I need to make sure I have thought about this process and this security implication, all the rest of it. You're not doing it because you just clicked create me this app. Now, I'm going to guess that what I should have done was maybe put all that stuff in the prompt, obviously, which I didn't. Because that's not how my brain works, obviously, because I haven't done this before. So, again, this is all a learning process. Is it worth ditching Flutterflow for Dreamflow is kind of what I'm getting at, even though it's monumentally expensive. So, yeah, we'll wait till it's finished. Obviously still going, just had another thought. I have no idea how many tokens this uses. I have just put in a prompt that is... $810 words. I have no idea how many of my 20 tokens, or whatever they call them, that counts for. Is one run of the AI one token? Because in which case you can probably do quite a lot based on creating really extensive prompts and thinking about exactly what it is that you want it to do. So for instance, what I will do next, I will go through and look at everything it's done, and I will run through and make another really extensive prompt of the things I want it to change. I'm going to guess what I'm going to do. And that may just be one token, in which case the 20 tokens, I think, was it 20 or 5? I can't remember what it was for the free plan, whatever it was. I think it was 5, wasn't it? That actually may be quite a lot, because within 5 extensive, comprehensive iterations, you might actually get somewhere near. Certainly with 20 you can. So I think the mistake I made when I was doing the Tetris app, I didn't really understand how this thing works, and I just said build this and then change this one thing. What you've got to do, you've got to go through and make really comprehensive prompts, I believe. That's what I'm thinking right now looking at this. And then iterate them and do as few as you can. So you need to really dive in, look at all the things that you want to change, all of the, you know, into the code and all the rest of it, and change it that way. I'm going to guess that may be how this works in its most efficient way. But once again, I'm guessing. Oh, we're compiling. Oh, starting your app. There we go. So that took quite a while, but if it's come up with something that is 70% there, that is an awful lot quicker than you can build it from scratch in Flutterflow, I'm not going to lie. Now, you can download the code, so you could actually do that. Download. I don't want to pay asteroids. Oh, that's quite a good idea, though. Oh, how do you turn? Can you turn? Stop doing that. Right. So starting preview, you can download the code, and I believe, well, you can download, put it in GitHub. Okay, right. Anyway, I'll shut up because it's landed. Some of this stuff I probably necessarily didn't ask for. Pro tap settings below. Archive. I'm not going to lie. That, I mean, it's, yeah. Achievements, connections, all. No moments. Right, well, I'm going to have a play around, and I'll report back when I have, because basically I have never used this properly before. We've got the code, obviously, which we can do. We can go straight into the code, and we can split, and we've got preview. I mean, that's fairly obvious. Source control, not available to me yet. We get connect to Firebase, which I don't really need to at this point. I would rather use Superbase anyway, so if I do get this finished and need auth or the rest of it, I will go to Superbase via Firebase, because if you watch any of my videos, you'll know that's my thing of choice. Assets, we've basically got one image. which is the Dreamflow icon. Well, thanks for that. Okay. And our brand colors. So we can change our colors. That's easy enough. And we've got our widget tree. Ah, okay, right. Main navigation, archive screen. Icon. So we can't connect on, if we go on inspect, oh here we go, inspect mode, right. And we've got our icon. No moments yet, and the text. And then we've got the app bar, category filter chips. Right, okay. Well, I'm sure you don't want to watch me navigate my way around Dreamflow properly for the first time, so I am going to have a look and see what it's done. Okay, so on an initial look around, we've got dark, light and system modes, which is good, but we do have an error when saving a profile. It's got setting up the things I asked it to do in the prompt, which is good, but when you're trying to save a profile you are getting this error because we are building on the web. We're in test mode on the web, so SQLite won't work. You have to tell it which platform you're working on for it to be able to do the database. So I've got to, if I want to test it on here, I've got to make some changes in the database service to do just that, and I think I need to do something in the main Dart as well. So there is that. So that's something to bear in mind. But interestingly, I was wondering how many credits I used. So generating that app with that prompt used all of my free credits for the month. 10 of them. So I don't know how the credits calculate, obviously, to be honest. So yeah, so generating that with that one prompt, that cost the month's credit. So anything if I want to stay on the free plan, anything I do now I've got to do manually without AI, which is fine. But it kind of defeats the object of using Dreamflow. You've just created the main guts of your app automatically, and then you've got to do everything else yourself if you want to do it on the free plan. But also I cannot publish to iOS and Android, which doesn't surprise me because otherwise nobody's going to pay for the updated versions, obviously. So I cannot do that, but I can publish to the web. I don't know if you can publish it as a PWA because it doesn't tell you. It just says one-click deployment, all this stuff is coming soon, because when you go down to the bottom, deploy to web is actually grayed out. None of that actually works. Right, so does it work as a PWA? I do not know. So that is that. So I cannot deploy to Android or web without upgrading, so I'm going to have to upgrade if I want to complete this project, which I will do because I've committed to do it. View plans, so I can get from my 10, so I can get another 10 times the credits for $20 to do it for a month, which that's what I'm going to do. But using all those credits to click for one generation, I mean, it was quite an extensive prompt, obviously. Seems quite a lot, but I actually don't know. There is that. And then the other thing was earn free credits by referring people. Okay. Well, I think if you try and refer this to a lot of Flutterflow people, you're not going to be earning many credits at all, because most people are pretty anti-Dreamflow that are using Flutterflow. But I am kind of anti it, but I've got an open mind. Anyway, that's it for this one. I'm going to have another play around. I just wanted to add those bits just to let you know my very, very initial thoughts. First thing I want to do is fix this, because I can't even test it or do anything until I've done that. And once I've done that, I can test it out. What I don't know is if I do that, can I download an APK and drop it straight on my spare Android phone I'll leave kicking about for these occasions? That I do not know. I'll have to look into that, look in the docs for that. So anyway, I'll leave it there, like I say, and I'll have a play around and report back when I've got something more to add.